very easily maneuverable.
I see. So that's what you meant by stroller system.
Right.
Okay.
And so they were encapsulated in their strollers in their positions as negotiators for their time. And
are you saying that these aliens that were present at this conference that happened, what, this year, last year? A couple years ago, in which they discussed, I'm assuming it was
between
the Lotus...
2003 and 4.
I'm sorry?
Between 2003 and 2004.
Okay, and they discussed the Lotus Project.
It was brought up, and in fact, as part of the negotiations, the People's 45,000 group of J-Rods wanted the codes for the Lotus Principle added into the treaty negotiations so that they could use it in their own attempts to ameliorate their particular neuropathies.
Wow! So they saw the value. They saw the value right away. They
saw a potential value for it, and they wanted to use it for that purpose. It was my argument that it should not be used for a particular purpose. That this is moreover part of a natural system, which has been put in place by whatever God that one would want to deign as being the creator of the universe, as part of a natural system, and not to be controllable by humankind.
Or by alien kind,
they're humans. They're human
you
lineage.
Consider them humans.
They're humans.
Okay.
They're human beings, albeit different from what we would expect to see as a human being. But then again, if we look in the history, the presently accepted history of the evolution of humankind, if one were to walk into a conference held by Neanderthals, one would be taken aback. Well, in the same way, one may be taken aback by walking into a conference with these gentlemen.
Okay. So you've got two kinds of aliens, and people that are watching this, some people may have no idea about the T2, two timelines.
Probably not. We actually had three kinds of extraterrestrials, human lineage extraterrestrials present. Two kinds of P plus 45,000 years from now, if we were to translate over to timeline 2, difficult subjects, aren't they? Two representatives from that time, two representatives from P plus 52,000 years ahead, J-Rods, both of which generally have the anatomical configuration of what would be in ufology called grays, gray aliens. And two representatives from P plus 52,000 Orions, who would generally, I guess, in ufological circles, I guess one could say, would be called Nordics or Tals.
Okay.
Who actually look more human-like, but have larger eyes, very blue eyes, blondish hair, etc.
I see. And, okay, well, of course I've got many questions on this score.
So do I.
But... And for people listening, we would also like to know, were there any reptilians present?
No, not per se.
Okay. Good.
What I've come to understand, and it's generally held, I think I could say it's generally held within our society, that the notion of a reptilian is a misnomer. And I'm not saying that to apply a negative, and I'm not saying that to apply a negative connotation to the stories that individuals have brought forward, probably mostly forthrightly, but that when you view or observe what would be called a gray, what I would call a J-Rod, the particular ruddy configuration of their skin, the changes of the sudoriferous glandular structure of their skin, can make them appear during exacerbations of the illness very reptilian in appearance, and also possibly praying mantis type in appearance. They're also suffering from a cocaine-like syndrome, which makes them lurch forward, so they appear very praying mantis-like. So I think that possibly many of the accounts which have forthrightly come from individuals whom have actually been abducted by the P-45s have maybe been interpreted as being reptilian in appearance because of their skin structure. But they're not really reptiles.
Okay.
Now, I'm not to support it either. Reptilian in that if one were under stress and one had no previous reference to their biology, their pathophysiology, their particular problems, one could reasonably expect out of a group of people experiencing them that more than 50% of the group could probably say that they were reptilian in appearance.
Okay, that's interesting.
That's the best I can say.
So their appearance morphs to some degree into more of a reptilian under stress, is what you're saying?
I'm saying
maybe
that
you don't
people
like
could
the word
interpret
morph.
them that way.
Okay.
Reasonably be expected
Visually.
to interpret them that way if they do not have a scientific grounding into what they're looking at.